So under Sadiq Khan, England hating as he clearly is, under his mayorship of London, the City of London, London taxi drivers, the iconic black cabs, are banned from displaying English flags during the Euros. This is because Transport for London have, and they're of course bosses handpicked by Khan himself, have claimed that the flag could actually distract other drivers. And I said, hang on a minute, what, like those clown police cars? And taxi drivers have been warned that they could face serious penalties, including losing the black cab licence, if they dare to fly the flag during the Euros. And I said this is naked anti-English sentiment, masquerading as nanny state intervention to keep the public safe. This is what I sort of imagined through artificial intelligence that a nice cab flying the English flag would look like. Now, this is what Sadiq Khan does view as totally not worthy of distraction. Apparently, every driver on the roads of London would not be distracted by this clown cab on the streets of London. And I said, so a solitary English flag is too distracting for road users, but these clown cabs are totally permissible and acceptable. And then just the other day, we had this flag, which is flown by some militia, by the Shia Muslim groups. And this is what it looks like. So all these flags flying across London, zoom, 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 flying like you wouldn't believe. It's on the side of the cars. It's on out of the windows. They're beeping their horns till their heart's content. And we saw this happen with Palestinian flags as well. So I said, cabbies can't fly the England flag, but foreigners can promote this 40 militia group, sort of umbrella group that is representatives of Shia Muslim organisations who are militias. And that's acceptable in London. But to do the England flag during the Euros would be a step too far for Mr. Khan and far too distracting. Do you see where I'm going with this? There just seems to be a massive double standard, as well as in the British policing, which falls under the purview of Mayor Khan, and the flag-waving black cabbies being told that they can't fly the English flag during the Euros. I think what's going on here is really quite simple, which is that it does not fit Sadiq Khan's view of his multiculturalism bastion that is modern day London. The English flag is seen as far too reactionary, far too parochial, far too Little England to possibly be flown by the iconic black cabs in London under Sadiq Khan's leadership. I don't view this as genuinely being viewed as a distraction for road drivers whatsoever. I think that's a load of bollocks, to be frank. But Alex, you've been commenting on this as well.
Yeah. Look, so I think there's something really important we need to clarify, which is that this regulation, on the two-tier flags, is something really important. And there's regulation which only applies to the Hackney carriages and things that are run by TfL, was brought in under Boris Johnson, just to show you how even more that man, if you've lost any respect for him the last week after, how him attacking Farage, some of you may have lost respect for him years ago, but to show you even more how illiberal that man was, this was one of his policies. That doesn't mean that after a decade of Sadiq Khan being Mayor of London, that he couldn't have reversed it. And he should have done. After multiple World Cups and tournaments, we still can't fly flags on Hackney carriages. And this is not just in London. This has also been replicated in parts of the country as well. But you're right, Darren. There's no distraction for it. And the reality is that these LGBT rappers that are put around black cabs is far more distracting. I mean, some of the cabs in London are pink. They're literally pink. There's nothing more distracting in your window than seeing a bright neon pink car. So the actual reason for this regulation is not what it appears to be. It's got nothing to do with distraction. It's to do with politics. So let's get that. That for me is the very important part of this. And if Sadiq Khan wanted to change it, he could have done, but he doesn't want to.
I didn't know that about Boris, actually, Alex. That's a good bit of information. But Chloe, I mean, you've seen London buses, for example, that have been painted all sorts of colours in the name of advertising.
Oh yeah, and they're covered in movie adverts, for example. I mean, why is a St. George's flag distracting, but having a huge advert for whatever the new Willy Wonka or something on the side of a bus isn't. I was a little bit confused by this story in that what wasn't clear to me is if whether this rule against the St. George's flag is just this old rule that came under Boris Johnson and we're just realising that it's a problem now, or if it's the case that the rule has been, made harsher in light of the Euros and something has changed. But regardless, what is very clear to me is that the rule only applies to one flag, and that's the St. George's flag. I mean, you're right, the Pride flag is way more distracting. You can fly any flag as long as it is not the British flag or the St. George's flag, because apparently we're all racist flag shaggers if we want to fly our own country's flag.
And if I flew in a cab, if I flew the Palestinian flag, I bet you bottom dollar that the police wouldn't stop me,
Oh, yeah, that would be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
But you'd be
And
stopped for
definitely
flying
if
the
you were a
Israeli flag, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
And if you were flying that Palestinian flag as a person of colour, you definitely would not be stopped by the police. If you are a white Brit
True.
and you have an English flag or a British flag, you are in trouble.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.